Hi guys, and welcome to a new video. This time we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and it's going to be a garden project. I'm doing this for my parents. They want me to get rid of the pond. We're going to fill this in and level this section of the lawn, and then we're going to put a patio up there. So I thought I'd make a video about it just in case anyone wants some ideas for their own garden projects. So we're going to get this pond drained now. Let's plug the pump in. And with this particular pump, it's got a float on it, so as the float rises, it will switch the pump on. There we go. The pond did look lovely in its heyday. There's actually a video on my YouTube channel if you want to see what it used to look like with all the fish in it. I'll put a link to that video in the description. But the main reason we're removing it is because of maintenance, really, and not having time to maintain it. This time lapse makes it look much easier than it actually was. I had to remove all of these stones from around the edge of the pond and then cut away the fiberglass liner. We built it about 5 or 6 years ago out of fiberglass. It's a really strong material, so it made removing it quite difficult. I had to cut it away with a grinder and a cutting disc. And then fortunately we had a skip in at the time to get rid of all the sections. I drilled loads of holes in the base of the pond just to allow any water to drain through it. I also left some hardcore in the bottom so it acts as a soak away, and that should allow the water to drain through nicely so that we don't have a boggy lawn. Because nobody wants a boggy lawn, do they? Especially when the dog drags in half the garden in the winter time. It didn't take me 30 years to record this video. This is actually my old man. In this short time lapse you can see him digging out the footings to extend the brick wall to the bottom of the garden. Unfortunately I didn't get a chance to record him building the brick wall, but I'm sure there's plenty of videos on YouTube if you want to learn about bricklaying. Right then, we've got this section of wall built so that we've got something to compact our MOT up against up here. It's no good compacting MOT if it didn't have this wall here, because it would just all cascade back down here. 3 new fence panels up. So my job today is to level off the garden and dig it out so it's 150 mil below the top course of bricks, because the patio is going to sit on top of here. We want a sub base of around 100 to 200 millimeters of Type 1 MOT, all compacted down, so we've got a nice solid foundation to lay our patio slabs on, and that way we shouldn't get any movement, because that would look horrible, wouldn't it? We've got a lot to dig out, so I want to crack on with it. I'll set you up on a time lapse. We'll get the dog out and he can give us a hand digging, because that's what they're best at, especially this one. Using a rotavator makes light work of digging up the garden, so it's much easier to shift all the soil from one side to the other. I honestly didn't realise that these wasps live in the ground. I thought they lived in a hive somewhere in a tree, but it seems like everywhere I dig there's just more and more of these wasps coming out. Right, I've nearly finished digging out the foundation for this sub base, so we need to work out how much Type 1 MOT we need to order for this. And bearing in mind it's going to be compacted as well, so there's going to be 2 layers. We're going to put the first layer down, compact it all, another layer on top, compact that, and that will be our final level. And I want that to be the top of this brick wall. I'm going to be laying on top of that existing slab there. To work out how much Type 1 MOT we need, we're going to measure across here the width, times that by the length, times that by the depth, and that will give us how many meters cubed worth of MOT we need. So let's measure the width. Width is 5.2 meters. 5.2 meters. Now because we're going on top of this, we don't need to incorporate that part into our calculation, because we don't need MOT for that section, only that corner there. So I'm going to measure from here. So the length is 7 meters, and then the depth we know it's going to be about 150 to 200 millimeters. I'm going to have to use my calculator. You can always ask ChatGPT as well. Just put in the calculations, the measurements, and it will tell you exactly how many bags of MOT you need. Hello. For those of you that haven't used ChatGPT before, I'm going to show you how to do it. So we just type in ChatGPT onto Google, and then it will come up with this search engine here. I'm going to type in, tell me how much Type 1 MOT I need for a patio sub base, 5.2 meters by 7 meters by 0.2 meters. And the 0.2 is the 200 mil depth. I've rounded it up because it's probably about 150 mil in places, and then it's 200 in other places. So it gives us a calculation here. It converts the cubic meters into tons and tells us we need 16 tons of MOT. Before I can fill this in, I need to put a couple of sleepers across the bottom section of the garden, just so again we've got something to compact the MOT up against. To tie these sleepers together, I cut down some of this roofing strap. It's ideal for this job because it's nice and strong and it's got a galvanised coating, so it shouldn't go rusty anytime soon. So all you have to do is cut it down to the desired length and then screw it to your sleepers in various places to tie them all together, and that will make for a nice strong retaining wall. To prolong the life of these sleepers, I paint them with a bitumen based paint. This one's called Blackjack and it's designed for weatherproofing your building materials. I'll put a link to it in the description below if you need to get some. Once I'd levelled the sleepers with the top of the brick wall, I then tied it into the brick wall using some of the roofing straps and some masonry fixings. I had to add in a small section of sleeper at the other end because it wasn't quite long enough to reach the wall, and again I just tied it all together with those roofing straps. It doesn't have to look pretty because this is going underneath the patio anyway, it just has to be nice and strong. To try and keep the level of the MOT even across the whole base, I hammer in these wooden stakes level with the top of the brick wall, and that way when I fill it up with MOT I can aim to fill it to the top of these wooden stakes, keeping it level across the whole area. Now obviously our patio is going to need a fall on it so the rainwater runs off, and it's debatable whether you have a level MOT layer or you put a slight slope on it. For this patio I've made it level, but I think it would be quite beneficial to put a slope on it next time, and that's because you wouldn't use as much mortar mix. With the wooden stakes hammered into the right level at various points across the base, it was now time to start moving the MOT. Certainly not a job for the faint-hearted. I'll also be installing a socket at the bottom of the garden, so I need to chase out a groove in the existing slabs to run the cable through, and then the rest of the cable will be buried underneath the patio sub base under the MOT. I'll be running it in SWA cable, steel wired armoured. It's very strong industrial cable designed for this type of application outdoors, and I'll be using an outdoor socket all protected by an RCD, so it's nice and safe. Your cable's not buried deep enough. You should have clipped it. The MOT is going to damage the sheathing. Don't use a whacker plate on top of that. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Now I know the regs say that it should be buried at least 450 to 600 mil below ground level, but this is going to have a patio on top of it. I can't imagine anybody's going to dig through this with a spade. I'm just doing it at this level, but you can do it how you want to do it. If you're not got a patio and you just want to run a cable to the bottom of your garden, then it should be buried at least 600 mil really, just to avoid anyone going through it with a spade. You should also cover it with sand or a softer material just to prevent damage to the sheathing. Do as I say, not as I do. I'm just covering it with MOT in this, and I will be using a whacker plate on top of it. Cowboy. Sorry, did you say something? It's advised that you do this in layers to make a really solid sub base. So I bought around the first 8 tons of MOT, compacted that, and then another 8 tons of MOT on top of it, compacted that to give us our final level. So it's exactly 16 tons of MOT as ChatGPT told us. So we haven't overordered at all for the MOT, and I'll be doing the same for working out how much sand and cement we need, but that'll be in the next video. If you've enjoyed this video and you found it useful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you click that little alarm bell, you'll get notifications when I post new videos. And hopefully I'll see you in the next instalment where we're going to start laying the patio slabs.